What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. It is Tuesday. There were no games on Monday. We didn't do any shows over the weekend, so not really anything to talk about here today. But it's nice to have a big 5 game slate, and nice to be back here with you, Rob Veno. So I'll just ask you, how you doing today? How's everything been okay with you?
Everything's good, Skee. Rough little preseason winner last night with Bengals and Commanders over the 43 and a half. So the football game got there easy for us and ready to focus back in on the WNBA.
All right, let's get to it. We got a loaded slate. So no need to waste any time. We'll go in rotation order like we always do. That means 6-13, 6-14. Minnesota and New York are up first. Open with Minnesota as the 1 point favorite. We've seen a flip of favorites. Now we see New York -3, even 3.5 popping up. Total open up 166.5. Not a whole lot of movement there. As far as injuries are concerned, still no fee for the Liberty. Still no Stewie, no Sabali, no Izzy Harrison. These teams will be playing for the fourth time so far this season. And I believe the Lynx have won 2 out of 3. If I'm not mistaken, they won all three, maybe actually. Let me double check here. The Lynx, yes, they won all 3 meetings so far this season. 193, 83-71, 86-80. No fee, no problem in that last one. Granted, there's no Stewie for the other side, but now the Liberty are back at home this time around. They did just play about 3 or 4 days ago. Um, the Liberty had a pretty poor start in that game, Rob. And they had to do some catching up. It's tough when you put yourself in that big of a hole right out the gate. But they showed some fight. They showed some ability to play aggressive defense, and they were having success with that for a while. Um, do you think they can put it together for a full 40 minutes here in this one at home, and finally get a win in the column in this series this season?
Feel like they need to, Skee. Who wants to go 0-4 against the Lynx when the general thought is that these two would meet up for the championship? You don't want to head into a huge series like that if it comes to be, having lost 4 straight to Minnesota. It's crazy too. The schedule maker, I don't know who makes this schedule, but this will be the 4th game in 21 days between these two. I mean, all of these Minnesota wins have been recent. So you're right. A lot of no Stewart, a lot of no Nafisha Collier for Minnesota. But that loss the other day, I thought was agonizing. It was agonizing for me because I had the Liberty team total over 82.5, and they're sitting at 78 with 3:17 left in the game. And you're watching stuff like Natasha Cloud wide open to the rim, blowing a layup. They just, the last 3:17 of that game, not good for the Liberty. They outshot the Lynx from the field, 45 to 43%. They made more 3-pointers, 11-7, but they got crushed on the free throw line. Minnesota shot 33 free throws. The other side shot 8. 25, and they turned it into a plus 18 point advantage. Minnesota, even though Minnesota down the stretch blew a bunch of free throws, Kayla McBride just kept missing from the free throw line. New York couldn't capitalize, but I'd expect them to be focused here, Skee, tonight to get this one win. Sabrina had a tough game offensively, 5 of 16 from the field. I think 2 of 7 from 3. New York crowd should be ready to go. I played this game. I played it earlier this morning. I played first half, New York first half -1, thinking that, if you're going to correct, I always think that coaches like to correct what went wrong. And you mentioned it. What went wrong was the first quarter. I think they only scored 12 points. They were getting buried by 15 in the first half and made their way back. But I think they'll start quicker here tonight. I don't know what Minnesota has left to play for, to tell you the truth. They're 28-5. They never seem to take the floor, though, without a purpose. So I guess they're going to come to play. I would imagine that. But I just think New York has more motivation here. I think they've got the personnel to at least win this first half by a bucket. So that's the way I played it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I think that's a good play. Minnesota has been really strong in the third quarter in particular. So maybe avoiding the second half could be a good look there. Man, what do the Lynx have to play for? I just think every time they see the Liberty, like it's up. It's they're ready, after last season. And Courtney Williams, especially, she's done a lot of talking, about this matchup. She's shown up in all the games. I have a hard time thinking she won't show up again in this one. Chris is asking, what do I think about Kayla McBride over 14.5 points? She's hit in all 3 games versus Liberty, but 9 of her points last game came from free throws. Is that a reason to stay away? Yeah, if I'm betting on somebody, it's Courtney Williams. I mean, I don't want to necessarily talk you off Kayla McBride, but yeah, just the person I see going off, if anybody is Courtney Williams. That would be my pick. Mark says, Lynx still making a point, haven't let go of last year's chip. I agree with that. In that last game, Rob Veno, it was one. I think the first half was lower scoring, and then the second half they just started to go crazy and make everything right.
That's exactly how it went. Yep.
The total is right around where it was last time. I mean, we know both of these teams are great offensively. They're also 2 really good defensive teams. Liberty haven't been showing it as much lately, but they did show it, like I mentioned, and I believe it was that second quarter. It was a really good defensive second quarter. Sabrina talked about that and how they got to, build on that. That needs to be part of their, how do I say? It needs to be part of what they're doing on a daily, And then for Minnesota, we keep hearing players, coaches say defense is their identity. Do you think this one is played more like that first half, or do you think it's more like that second half? I would think it's a little bit more like the first half.
I've been of the opinion since she went out, Skee, that New York would be worse defensively without Breanna Stewart. Again, I know I'm repetitive with this, but when I watch that team play, her offense is whatever her offense is. It's there on some nights, it's not on others. Other nights, it's 3 for 11. But defensively, she stood out to me all season long. Since she hasn't been in the lineup, New York's given up a bunch of points. It's nice to say it. I just don't know that they can do it against a team of this caliber. All that being said, if you erase that 12-point first quarter, they had 68 in the last 3 quarters. New York did, and 65 on the other side for the Lynx. That's like 133. But to your point earlier, they had a 95-point second half combined. It was a big second half. So I don't know. I thought the odds maker put the total in a good place. And you know me, I'm always quick to look at totals, but I couldn't find an advantage to this one. So, maybe they can. Maybe the talk turns into results defensively for New York. I just don't like them on defense without Breanna Stewart. When she comes back, I think we'll see improvement on that side.
Fair enough. Mark reminding everybody to go pick up the $5 play today. Says less than a cup of coffee. Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more at the end of the show, but appreciate you, Mark. It is $5 Tuesday today, and we have best bets up and available. We'll keep moving down the list. That means next game is 6:15, 6:16, Connecticut Sun, Washington Mystics. Opened up -6, and I still see 6s pretty much out there. Total open 158.5. We'll call consensus 158. As far as injuries are concerned, nobody on the report for Connecticut. For Washington, I do see Steph Dolson and JC Sheldon listed as out. Mystics, a little bit surprising here lately, Rob. They have back-to-back wins after what they traded away. I mean, they traded away Sykes a little bit ago, and then Austin sat out a game. I think they still won that game. Mystics off 2 wins as underdogs. I don't necessarily see them or view them as a team to be laying points with. I think, once I start to get in the favorite of above -2 or 3, that's kind of where I draw the line here. Connecticut, they played well for most of their last game. They did end up losing. They covered the spread barely. They won the game before that. I think they're a little bit more competitive. So I would be leaning towards, getting the 6 points. I don't think Washington is worth laying with. I know they have technically something to play for in the standings, but I just don't trust it. Do you?
Well, I know what I'm done with, Skee, and I'm done saying maybe Washington is tanking, because the last 3 games, they took that and, totally proved otherwise. I thought maybe that trade of Brittany Sykes was an indicator that we're not going to get there this year, so we'll just make the trade. But they've been so good offensively, surprisingly good. Let's put it that way. I'm going to run you some numbers for Washington in their last 4 second halves without the benefit of overtime. No overtime here. 61 points in the second half against Dallas, 55 points in the second half against Golden State, 48 points against Indiana, 42 the other day after a 53-point first half against the Sparks. We know everybody scores against the Sparks, but still you get my point. Washington with this lineup. And Shakira Austin did come back last game, 95 points against LA the other day. So if I'm looking at anything here, knowing that Connecticut doesn't play a lot of defense, I'm probably going to look at Washington team total, which is 81.5. Connecticut gives up 82 just by showing up most nights. And you're right, that loss the other day against Indiana. I mean, what a performance by Kelsey Mitchell, second half, because I believe she had like nothing in the first half. And then second half in overtime, she winds up with 38 or something crazy in that game. Indiana, huge comeback against Connecticut, which again, just goes to show that defensively they can be exposed. So for me, maybe I'm just a prisoner of the moment here with the Washington offense, but they've surprised me with that lineup, and especially the 3 games without Shakira Austin, that they were able to score the way they've been able to score. So 81.5 looks like a very doable number to me in this game.
And that's the team total, right?
Yeah.
Mystics team total 81.5. I don't have any reason to talk anybody off a team total. A couple guys in the chat looking at Tina Charles over her 14.5 points today, says just give her 24 plus minutes. I mean, I think Tina can score. I think the Sun will keep this one competitive. And if they do, and Rob Veno's team total hits, that means the full game is going over. So if we had the opposite, if we had Shakira out and Steph Dolson in, I would run to the window and go bet the over. Dolson just, a better shooter, not really great defender. Shakira not shooting it from outside, much better rim protector. I don't know. Just kind of keeps me off of the total for this one. But Sun, I could very well get to the window with. Next game up, we have 6-17, 6-18 Seattle Storm heading into Chicago, take on the Sky. Opened up minus 11.5. Looks like minus 11 is the consensus total. Open 154. Looks like 158 is pretty much everywhere. Injury report. Nobody on there for Seattle. For Chicago, Ariel Atkins is probable. So is Haley Van Lith. And Angel Reese is listed as questionable. I mean, she has been listed as doubtful or out all these times. We'll see if she makes a reappearance here. The Storm finally got off the snide, right? Rob Veno. They are still desperate for wins. They need them, trying to fight for that playoff spot. But can they play well enough to win by 10.5? That's a tough question that I have to ask. I mean, I could look at it how you said the other day, right, Vino?
I was just going to say it to you.
Expect the Sky to lose, but then it doesn't seem so hard anymore. So I guess when we look at it like that, it's storm or pass. How are you viewing this one, Vino?
Well, and again, we'll repeat what we said the other day about Angel Reese, her quote, in due time. She has started to practice again with the team, but in due time, it's on her. It's on her schedule, I think. When she feels like coming back, she's going to come back. But I did handicap this game for the just in case that she does play. Obviously, we'll see the number go way down. If she plays, this game probably goes from 11 down to 8.5. She's probably worth that much to the Sky, but I played the Seattle Storm team total over 84.5. It was a bet that I made. And I'm just in this constant fade of the Chicago defense. They give up 90 the other day to Golden State. And the majority of that 90, if I'm right, I'd have to go back and look it up. But I just remember Golden State pulling away in the second half in a huge way. It was close, maybe like I don't know if Golden State covered first half the other night, Skee. Chicago may have covered first half, stayed close, and then got destroyed by 34 in the long run. Defense is bad. The backcourt defense is bad. Chicago, their turnover rate is worst in the league, and Seattle is like third best at scoring off of turnovers, points off of turnovers. That's a bad matchup right away for the Sky. And then another bad matchup for them is the Sky's paint defense, which gives up the highest percentage of highest field goal percentage inside the paint in the league. And Seattle's very good inside the paint. So a couple of bad matchups here for Chicago. I'll add to it their backcourt defense. We've talked about it a lot. Chicago's backcourt is, you might rate that the worst backcourt in the league. And Seattle with Brittany Sykes now has a little more firepower inside the backcourt. You talked about them needing wins. They're in that 8 seed right now. They need this win to stay alive. They're a game under 500, even though they won the other night. So it's a big game for them, and it's a start of a 5-game road trip. Let's mention that. Seattle's got 5 straight on the road. They get this game with Chicago, where they're double-digit favored. The next game is against Dallas, where they'll be favored. And you have to win the winnable games if you're Seattle. They scored 95 against Chicago the first time around. Angel Reese did not play in that game. If she doesn't play again, they probably get to 95 again. But I think there's a real good shot they get to 85 at least here, just because Chicago can't defend much of anything lately.
Yeah, I think that's solid. I think that's solid. Chicago's defense has looked pretty bad. We'll see if a motivated Seattle team could take advantage. I think that's a solid play there. Let's keep going down the list. People in the chat liking Gabby Williams in this game. And I didn't look too deep into props, but yeah, I don't have any reason to talk you off really anybody versus that Chicago defense. Next, pretty good game here. 619, 620. Atlanta Dream, Las Vegas Aces. Opened up -2.5 for Las Vegas and hasn't really moved. Total open 164.5. Looks like 165.5 is a consensus as far as who's available. No Jordan Canada for Atlanta. She'll still be out for a little longer. And Aces, I mean, everybody's healthy who's been playing this season. We'll say it like that. Aces, I mean, ever since who was that? Ever since Minnesota took their belt off and gave them a spank, the Aces look like the best team in the league, right? They won, I think, 6 games in a row, maybe 7. I guess pride just kicks in after a beatdown like that, and they start playing and looking like the Aces we've been looking for all season. The Dream have also played well post All-Star. The Aces have beaten the Dream both times, I believe, this season. Or if they didn't play twice, they did beat them at least once. Let me just double check that. So they did play once. Aces won 87-75, so won rather easily. I mean, if we're just going off what we've seen lately, Aces playing the way they're playing at home, it's hard to look the other way. And if I'm looking at the total, I think I trust the Dream a little bit more than the Aces defense. So, yeah, maybe just more than anything, lean Aces here at the house. How do you feel about it, Veno?
Yeah, Ryan Howard wasn't present in that game where Las Vegas won 87-72, their only matchup. But now Jordan Canada's not present, right? So Atlanta just seems to continue overcoming things. The other night, they didn't play very good. That game against Golden State, it was like 25-23 or something at halftime, something stupid. And then Atlanta broke loose in the second half, which they've been prone to do a lot this season. Their first half play has picked up, but their second half play, I remember beginning of the year, their second half totals were winning at a high rate, and they came up with 54 in the second half. They still find ways to score. They found a way to get to 79 in that game. I like what you said last about which defense you trust more, and it's why I played the Dream team total, the underdog team total here over 82. Las Vegas, I don't know why I shied away from full game, Skee, and maybe I won't in the end, because Las Vegas, during this winning streak, I think last 5 games, they're averaging 91 a game. 91. And offensively, first of all, Asia Wilson looks unstoppable. And second of all, she's getting the help now. 12, who used to dribble out the clock, is now making shots, scoring points. Jewel Lloyd, we talked about her since she's been coming off the bench. Jackie Young. Those 4 have been really, really good offensively lately. I know Atlanta's the better defensive team. That's probably why I shied away from full game total. But I do think that Atlanta's good for 83 against this defense. If you just go back through the Vegas win streak, they're still giving up points. They're just scoring at a huge rate at this point in time. So to me, Las Vegas has picked up the pace, the tempo in their games. If it gets to be a quicker game, which I think it will, I trust Atlanta. I think you had a number. I think you had a number last week about points scored by Atlanta on the road. In like it was at the time their last 5 games or something. It was maybe 85 plus in every game. And then they just scored 79 on the road at Golden State. But that was with a 23-point first half or something crazy like that. I don't think that happens again. So probably a high-scoring game, probably a really, really competitive game. I don't want to bet against the Aces right now. That's for sure. But I do think Atlanta gets to 83 whether they win or lose.
You know, Dream have been making some money lately for me. I know I said I lean the Aces, but man, I'm just trying to glance at this last time they played, just seeing who all was available. Bree Jones did play, Brittany Griner did play. Just Ryan didn't play really. I mean, when I think about it a little bit more, I kind of agree with this comment from Mark. I think it was here. No. Yeah. He says Atlanta's size going to bother Las Vegas. He says Aces' recent wins not that impressive. The thing I'll say is the bigs didn't bother the Aces in their last meeting. Both of them played; they didn't bother them. But in general, my thought is like when Asia does play the bigger like centers or bigs, like she struggles. Like when she plays Shakira Austin, I don't think she plays well. But like I said, she already did do it once versus Dream Team. This is a tough one. It'll be a really good game to watch. Let's just see a couple more comments here. Maybe they'll help us out. James likes the Aces. Drew likes the Dream. Mark thinks that Dream are the second best team in the league. They've been playing like it lately. I'll guarantee that. James says Aces ball screen will kill those bigs. A lot of differing opinions here. Dan says Dream have payback on their mind. Man. Chris, I think, is agreeing that we should see some points here. It says Dream are an over team on the road, and Aces are going to push the pace. This is tough. I think I need a little bit more time here. Dream have been the more consistent team in general to me. I know Ace has been playing better lately. And it's even hard to say that because Dream have been really on fire post All-Star. This one, I'm wrecking my brain here, Rob Veno. I think I need more time.
I want to try and go back here, Skee, real quick and just see how many. It was July 22. I'm just going to try and see how Asia Wilson did in that game. She had 24 and 12. Shot 9 of 18, 50% from the field, 6 of 7 from the foul line, 24 points, 12 rebounds. I mean, to me, she looks unstoppable right now. The one thing I'll say about Atlanta is you've got 10 fouls to give between Brianna Jones and Brittany Griner off the bench. You can, get up on her if you want. But Las Vegas has been pushing pace so much, and Asia doesn't need to be at the rim to score. Her jumper's just as good. I don't know. I think that I don't want to bet against it, Las Vegas right now, but I do think the Atlanta offense is trustable against this particular defense. I still think, I'm just looking here, Las Vegas's last 5 gave up 86, 86, 83, 87, and 77. So 4 of the 5 have gone over what's required tonight out of Atlanta.
Man, Veno. This is a tough one. I'll lean with the over, and I'll stay neutral on the side for now.
Maybe you could go in-game, Skee.
Yeah, I'll be watching for sure. So I'll be. Mark knows how to get me to the window.
That'll be in one hand with a ticket in the other.
He knows how to get me to the window for sure. It says needed tequila and a walk around the block. Skee.
That walk around the block will seal the deal.
All right. One last game for today. That looks like 621, 622. Phoenix and Golden State. This one opened up -6 for Phoenix. Not a whole lot of movement. We'll call it 6.5. Total open 156. And seeing it as low as 153.5. It's a lot of different numbers out there, but as low as 153.5. Injury report. Makani, I mean, she's on here, but it doesn't say anything next to her name. Let's see. Probable. This is probable. For Golden State, looks like Mo Billings, Maria C, and Ileana all out. Valkyries. All right, here's what I'll say about this one. First thing that comes to mind, Rob Veno, is both of these teams have been really good defensively. We know Golden State games have been really lower scoring, but Phoenix as well. Valkyries, we've talked about this on the show once before. In revenge situations, they've been able to lock people down. Whatever coach Nakasi is doing over there, if I said that wrong, I apologize. She has some good game plans for a second time around, seeing these teams that they've lost to. They are, just do a reminder here, and let's toss it up on the screen. Toss it up on the screen here. Let's see. Boom, boom. And I know that I have to go back and push the button. There we go. So you can see in revenge spots, the Valkyries are 9-1 to the under. Opponent's team total 9-1 to the under. They lock them down. So my initial thought is to try to get there with the under anyway, or find reasons to try to back that under. Maybe even just Phoenix team total. It is 80. I mean, I could very well see that at the house. How are you viewing this one, Rob Veno?
Yeah, just doing quick math. I mean, if Phoenix wins the game, just say 78-74, something like that. Team total is an under. It doesn't sound that unreasonable. 78-75. I'm a little surprised that Golden State was catching so many points at home, Skee. They're off of a bad second half to Atlanta. Like we said earlier, Atlanta destroyed them 54-36 second half, and all of a sudden that Golden State defense was just caved in by an Atlanta onslaught. But, Atlanta does that to people. I'm not so sure Phoenix will do that to them on the road. The number keeps climbing, which I keep looking for, what is everybody seeing that pushes this game from 6, which I thought was overpriced to start with, to 6.5, and into a couple locations -7. Golden State at home in front of that crowd, very, very good, pesky defensively. If it's a lower scoring game, generally those two correlate, right? Underdog and under, and home underdog getting 6.5 and under should correlate. To me, this was the absolute toughest game on the board to get to. And I think it's probably mostly because I never trust Golden State shooting against a good team. Against the weaker teams like what they did to Chicago, yeah, they love to let it fly from 3. Maybe Zandalasini gets hot. They've got players with potential to get hot, and I think that's what pushes me somewhat to their side. If I had to play it, I would play Golden State at home +6.5. They're still in the playoff race, just the same as Phoenix is. They're just vying for different positions in the standings. For Phoenix, 20 wins. Has them as the 4 seed, but they played a couple games less than everybody else, so they've got time to make up some ground here if they want, or if they can. They could win. I just don't know that they win this game by 7 points. It seems like a lot to me in this venue.
Valkyries have been really good at home. I mean, it does seem like a lot of points. I agree with you on that. It seems like most of the chat agrees too. Mark took the Valkyries. Yeah, a lot of people mostly. I haven't seen one person say the Mercury. So everybody on the Valkyries, huh?
I've seen this one before.
No, I'll let everybody be. I'm not gonna run to the window or try to make too many cases for Phoenix here. Makes sense. I mean, both teams do have something to play for, the playoff standings, but 6.5 points at home off of a really bad loss.
Right.
I think that they could play a lot better here in this game. So lean Valkyries, lean under. You put them together. That means Mercury team total under. And man, I don't know. It didn't seem like 30 minutes here, Rob, but it's been 30 minutes. We got through all 5 games. I think we did a pretty solid job. So we'll move it on, or before we move it to best bets, let's get Rob Veno on the screen. Rob Veno makes the
Am I
graphic
in?
for this one.
There we go. Yeah.
$5 Tuesday. So somebody mentioned it earlier in the show, but yeah, we have top plays on our page, and you can get them today for just $5. So it's a chance for people to check out, maybe what a write up looks like for one of us. See what you think about it. See if you cash out, and if you like what you see, you can come back and rock with us longer term. So on that note, Vino, I will pass it back to you and ask you if there's anything else you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, we would love to hear it. If you do not, no worries.
Real quick, Skee. Besides the $5 Tuesday, which is always a great day for anybody who has never been involved with any of the handicappers, including Skee and myself, it's a good day to get involved. Wager Talk also released an offer this morning where you buy the month of September, get the remainder of August for free. We're sitting here on August 19th. It's a 31-day month. You do the math, you're going to get almost 2 weeks for free. On top of that, I think they do the math for me, so I could just read it to you. Less than $49 per week, or less than $7 per day if you join in now on the All Access Pass for September. And of course, with football here, this is the time of year, guys, where you start to get all these crossover sports. You're not just going to get WNBA. You start to get college football, NFL football. You get everything. So it's quite a bit. Probably a very good package, price reduced rate, therefore, by September, get the rest of August free. Move on to best bet, Skee. I've got a choice here to make, and I don't want to use my $5 play as the free, so I'm going to go to the one we talked about towards the end there. Atlanta team total over 82, a game that I bet, a game that I have released to clients here. I just, I gave a lot of reasons why. I trust Atlanta, to tell you the truth, and it really doesn't matter all season long, or hasn't mattered all season long, who's in the lineup and who's not in the lineup. They do what they do. Chris pointed out what I was saying in my analysis when he chimed in with Vegas is going to push pace, and Atlanta's been a very good road over team. Team totals over with Atlanta. And like I said, I think you had the numbers last week, 85 plus in maybe 6 of their last 7. So give me that one as the best bet for today. Going to be Atlanta Dream team total over 82.
I like it. Good stuff there from Mr. Rob Veno. For myself, I mean, we did the $5 promo already. That's what I have. To what Rob said about what was it, by September, get the rest of August free? Is that what it was? Yeah, that will include what, college football, NFL, and I did win in both of those sports last season. I already know what my top play is going to be in college football. I just haven't put it out yet because I was just working on doing a good enough write-up. But I know what my play is going to be for college football. I will have it out shortly. NFL, like I said, we had a profitable year, and I'm going to be getting involved in week 1 as well. So it could be a deal to take advantage. Got WNBA going right now. I put some tennis. I had a winner on Paulini in the semifinals. I didn't play the finals. So if you're looking for some tennis, some WNBA to add to what you have going in September, that looks like a good deal right there. My best bet for the show, I'm gonna keep it simple. Keep it simple for me. And my thought process is I'm not a believer in Washington as a favorite by multiple possessions. I just don't think they're that good. They've already outperformed twice in a row, winning back-to-back as underdogs. I think they come back down a little bit to earth here. And so if Connecticut plays zone, that enough will disrupt Washington. From what I've seen with them, especially without Steph Dolson there, like when the two bigs are together, it's not going to be spacing. Shakira and Kiki is not going to be enough space if Connecticut runs on. So if they have a brain, if they're trying to win this game, I think that they can. They can at least keep it competitive. I'll go with Best number I can get right now. It's -115, but it is 6.5 for Connecticut. That will be my best bet for the show. And Vino, before we get out of here, let me ask you: did you notice anything different today? Um, anything different today on the show? And I'll ask the chat too. If you notice anything different, I want to know. Did you notice anything different today?
Yeah. I notice how relaxed you are in that chair.
It is pretty comfy right now. Very, very comfy.
Definitely different scenery. So you're not home. Real quick, let me just ask the chat when the Lamar fans are going to start chiming in here, Skee, because you're due for a Lamar Jackson battle coming up pretty soon within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm ready for him too. I think of that one. Is it a GIF or meme, however you call it? It's the guy with one guy with the sword, and it's the whole army coming at him. I'm ready for y'all. But yeah, I am on the road, and man, I'm just thinking about this now. I might not be able to do a show the rest of the week, Vino. Got a couple funerals, stuff to go through of that nature. Got some other family stuff I got to do. So this might be my last show for the week. So I guess we'll get back with you guys next week. Vino, the chat room here. Here they go. Let's get him, Jeff.
Glad we could open up that can of worms early.
Yes, it's always great to talk and break these games down with you, Vino. Appreciate you taking the time to do so. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you as well. Great people, great cappers, and just help make the show what it is. So I always want to let you know you're appreciated. YouTube Shorts, Twitch, X, Kick, Spotify, Apple. We appreciate everybody out there watching. And I'll say something different today. Yes, I'm on the road. And 2, I didn't have my medicine today. So I just wanted to see if it was noticeable. But we'll be back again next week to break down all these games. And we'll be able to talk some college football next week too, Rob Veno, a little bit. So
yeah,
it's some good stuff coming up. Best of luck, everybody, on all your action, and we will catch you guys later.